San Diego, #1 on your car radio preset and on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio's big weekend for the Padres. Sweeping the Pirates brings their record to 22-11. Now on to New York and the Bronx, taking on the Yankees, who are currently at 19-15. Tonight, that game will be going at 4 o'clock on MLB Network. Padres, Nick Pivetta will be going for the Pods, and Carlos Rodon will be going for the Yankees. The Yankees are currently slight favorites at -155. And after Canelo Alvarez beat William Skull in kind of a snooze fest on Saturday, they set up the Mega Showdown September 12th in Allegiant. It's official against Terrence Crawford. Canelo is open as a slight favorite over Terrence Crawford, who will be moving up to weight classes. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com. You'll get an extra 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Check the clock.
What time is it?
It's high noon. Pittsburgh is nice in the springtime.
Line to left, and that's it for a hit. From third base comes Lockridge. Arise, gonna try and score. Here comes the throw. He will be safe. Padres in at 4-0.
The Padres sweep the Pirates in the Steel City.
Up next, it's off to the Bronx to face the Yankees.
Back at home at Snapdragon for SDFC. Must have felt good.
Anders Dreyer all by himself. Chucky delivers. Goal. Anders Fire. Anders Dreyer.
A 5-0 win over Dallas. Plus the latest on the NBA postseason.
The Golden State Warriors have come to Houston yet again to close out a series, and they win 103-89 as they win Game 7 here.
A look back at the weekend in the Fletch Zone.
Let's get it going on a Monday. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will take over. Then plenty to get to on a Monday as we got the Padres with a big weekend, like you just heard big voice guy talking about. Fernando Tatis Jr. single-handedly winning a game on Saturday night. That was freaking cool as hell, man. What he did in the top of the ninth on Saturday was incredible. The Warriors finished off the Rockets last night in Game 7, the two best words in sports. There was also an incredible hockey game last night that we will get to in the Big Three. Boxing this weekend. Now, Sammy has on the rundown that boxing was a complete dud this weekend. I want to know if that was because Sammy lost money on boxing this weekend or if boxing actually sucked.
Until Sunday. Friday and Saturday was a dud.
So you won money on Sunday?
No, the fight fans got a treat on Sunday, and they got robbed of money on Friday and Saturday night.
We'll hit it all coming up today on the Fletch Zone. But the NBA playoffs, I actually think have been really good so far. But I do wonder if the NBA is getting a little nervous about the teams that are left in the postseason field. We will hit it all today on a Monday. We also got a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival to give away. Outlaw Music Festival. You're going to see Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Billy Strings, Sierra Hull live at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater on May 15th. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com or just keep hanging on. We will be giving those away in the first hour of the show today. With all that being said, let's step aside. We do the Big Three every single day where we go through the Big Three stories in the world of sports, the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy Long, hit that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
We will get right into it. If you want to watch the show today on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760, on X at Fletch and Sammy, at Fletch and Sammy. Give us a follow. We will follow you right back. Sammy, where are we starting today?
Yeah, and all that stuff's on X as well. All our information there. So number one, I know hockey's not the biggest thing in San Diego, but this was fantastic yesterday. The Winnipeg Jets down 2 goals with 2 minutes to go in Game 7 at home, score a goal with 1:54 left, then score a goal with 3 seconds left in the third period, go on to win it in double overtime. Can you think of a worse way to lose? I mean, I genuinely don't. Just to lose, to tie a game with 3 seconds to go when the St. Louis Blues are about to upset the Winnipeg Jets, who had the best record in hockey all year. With 3 seconds to go, you give it up and lose in double overtime. That is absolutely brutal.
Where was the game? Were they at home?
It was at Winnipeg.
It was at Winnipeg. Okay, I'm trying to think in like baseball terms.
This is a question for the text line, 70470. Sorry, message with team. Where would that rank up? Losing a game with 3 seconds to go in a hockey game in terms of other sports.
I mean, the double doink is a pretty bad way to lose a game.
Double doink is pretty bad.
In baseball, say that you are in the NLCS, right? Say it's Padres, Dodgers, NLCS, and it's final game of the series at Petco Park, because that would mean the Padres had a better record than the Dodgers during the regular season. But the Padres are up. Tie series, top of the ninth. Freddie Freeman hits a home run to tie the game. Bottom of the ninth, Padres don't do anything. Game goes to extras. Dodgers win it in extras. That'd be pretty brutal.
It's like baseball and hockey have a way of, because football, it's rare. I mean, unless it's the Super Bowl against the Niners, there's a walk-off.
Oh, shut up.
There's a walk-off play in that regard, losing on a buzzer beater, but the game would have to be close for that to happen. This, to be up 2 goals with 2 minutes to go in a game 7 and choke that away and then lose in double overtime, I can't. I feel bad for St. Louis Blues.
It'd be worse if it was in the final.
That would be worse if it was in the final.
So there is a worse way to lose if it was in the final. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. All right, next up.
All right, so weekend of boxing was a dud. ... until Sunday. Sunday is a prime example. Well, let me get to that first. Okay, so Friday night, for those who didn't watch the fights, it was a big card. Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, Devin Haney was on it. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was kind of the only guy that showed up to fight.
Ryan Garcia got popped in the second round. Looked like it was over.
Romero cracked him with a left hook, absolutely sent him to the canvas, and Garcia looked kind of scared of his power the rest of the night. He ended up losing Saturday night. So Canelo was setting up the Crawford showdown, which is now official September 12th. And William Scholl is a very Cuban defensive fighter and very technical, but it was a dud of a fight. I mean, there was no punches thrown, and it was a pretty rough watch. It was tough. So people were very upset because people had paid pay-per-views for both these nights. And then on Sunday, Naya Inoue in Vegas for the second time, fighting Ramon Cardenas, who was literally a 65-1 underdog at some sportsbooks. Some sportsbooks had him at 100-1 underdog, cracks him, puts him down in the second round on a free ESPN night, and he ended up losing the fight because Inoue is a great fighter. But this is a prime example of what happens when guys show up. Like, School shows up for a paycheck. It's embarrassing, and fight fans for UFC or boxing or whatever it is, when fighters show up just to collect a check and they're not there to win, go out on your shield. And it's cool that last night Cardenas, even though no one gave him a shot, no sportsbook maker gave him a shot, put on a clinic and set himself up for some big fights down the line.
What's going on with your boy Ryan Garcia?
I don't know, man.
He gets popped in the second, and then he's too scared to do anything the rest of the way.
That's what it looked like. Rolly seemed naturally bigger at 147. Like Lampley was talking about. By the way, it's great to have Jim Lampley back. Looked very muscular at 147. Like, it kind of fit his weight class more. But Garcia looked off. It looks like he got cracked. They didn't think he could hurt him. He didn't really throw his left hook. It felt like Rolly was looking for it. And then Haney was a disgrace. Haney needs to retire. I mean, him jabbing his way to a victory, that was awful. I mean, and he's talking crap after the fight because Garcia lost. Haney should be ashamed of himself. That was a pretty disappointing night for Ryan Garcia.
Haney's the streamer kid, right?
He does do some stuff, but he's like a legit fighter. But it's a bummer. Garcia, kind of San Diego guy, trains down here, but we'll see if the Haney kind of rematch still happens.
We can give boxing credit in the fact that it did look really cool. I think Times Square looked awesome. The way they built up the stadium around it looked great. Hopefully more stuff like that is coming. Sammy, story number 3.
So this one was fun. Little golf. Scotty Scheffler destroys the field. The CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, total tied PGA Tour record of 253. This was fantastic, Fletch. What are your thoughts?
It was really cool. Scotty Scheffler dominated everybody. I don't know if it's similar to boxing in the sense that, like, day 4 of that tournament on Sunday, Scotty's going to win. So you're just watching brilliance happen. Now, Scotty, he's still a mile away from any of the Tiger records in terms of consistent time at world number 1, everything like that. But if there's anyone that's going to do it over the next, what would literally take him 14 or 15 years, it feels like it's Scotty Scheffler, who's been on a run of dominance lately. Now, the best part about this tournament is on day 4, on the Sunday, Scotty Scheffler's beating everybody by a million. He has a moment where he's just like all of us. He duffs a chip. The ball doesn't even get to the green. It rolls all the way back to his feet. And it's the reminder that golf is freaking hard as hell. So when Scotty Scheffler, who is most likely the best player in the world today, alongside Rory, alongside Bryson, you could kind of make the argument for a few people, but Scotty Scheffler, the best golfer in the world today, winning a tournament by a million strokes, duffs a chip. You feel better about yourself in your short game.
It was cool to see Scotty because, with the tear he's been on, and Fletch, you can speak to this a little bit more than me, but I mean, then all the kind of stuff last year, the BS arrest outside of the one tournament, and then the Masters didn't have the performance he wanted. Really kind of came back on the Sunday, but kind of struggled over the weekend. It was kind of cool to everyone remember, like, oh, Scotty Scheffler's the man, and what he did. I mean, it's
Golf is freaking hard.
Winning
dude.
by 8 strokes. I mean, that's for real stuff.
These guys, their life is just bizarre. It's like you finish up a tournament on Sunday. You say you're a winner, like Scotty. You probably go out to a nice dinner last night with your wife, with your family, and then you're back on the plane, going to the next place, getting ready, playing practice rounds. Like by today, he's most likely already in his next location.
That is something interesting about golf, in that
and it doesn't end.
There's no time to kind of think for a month. It's you're right back out there.
You get like a little bit of an off season from maybe January till the end of February, but during that time, you're doing pro-ams, you're doing events, you're like keeping the schedule going because you are still a golf celebrity. You have things that you have to do. At the most, these guys get like 2 or 3 weeks completely off per year.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Fantastic stuff. Should we do a fourth, or should we just go to the Padres next segment?
Yeah, if you got a fourth, let it rip.
All right, so Fletch, this one's special for you. Matthew Stafford right now for Ian Rappaport will earn $44 million this year. They kind of restructured his contract. $4 million already paid, the other $40 million guaranteed. It came out in reports today per The Athletic that Fletch's second wife, Brock Purdy, is looking for over $50 million a year. Is Brock Purdy actually going to make more than a Super Bowl champion Matthew Stafford in the same division?
Because Matthew Stafford's like almost 50 years old. I know he's not actually, but the thing is, they're at different points of their career. That's probably what Matthew Stafford's worth right now. What's Brock Purdy worth? I don't know the true answer to that. He's going to get somewhere between 50 and 55 million. Nick Wagner, who covers the 49ers for ESPN, had this big article out about it where he said, look, I've been following this all offseason, so I'm not telling you my opinion on anything. I'm telling you what's going to happen. He said the number is going to be slightly higher than Jared Goff's number he signed with the Detroit Lions. Everything taken into account. Past success from Brock Purdy, the numbers from Brock Purdy, which are fantastic. Like the only thing you can hold against Brock Purdy is the eyeball test. And whose eyeball test is right? And so I think John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are extremely happy with Brock Purdy so far. They've both publicly stated Brock Purdy will be the quarterback as long as we are in the positions that we are in. And so if that's the case, then you know what? 50 to 55 million, get it done, figure out how to win.
Yeah, figuring out how to win might be tough with that one. But Matthew Stafford, if I'm John Lynch, I'm very excited right now because I'm going back to Brock Purdy and going, you're not Matthew Stafford. I know you're younger, but
Matthew Stafford's like he was talked about as retiring this year. These are totally different things.
Except Matthew Stafford, also to the Rams' credit, played the Eagles tougher than anyone in the playoffs. They smoked the Commanders, they smoked the Chiefs. The Rams were one play away, one Jalen Carter sack away from beating them in Philadelphia. Matthew Stafford has still got it. The fact that he's taking less to be a part of a team that also lost Aaron Donald a year or two ago, so there's money to be spent. It's a young defense with Jared Verse and all those guys on the defense. I mean, they're making moves to be able to win. Brock Purdy's agent must be kicking himself if this just came down while they're negotiating this, because John Lynch is going to go, I don't care about your age. Have not shown the ability with all the injuries to win in big moments. And look at the team this year. The defense is half decimated with Hufanga out, Greenlaw's out, Debo's out, all these guys. Juszczyk's gone. So
Juszczyk is not gone. He's back with the team.
He's not back?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. Take that back. Still.
Goodness gracious.
Defense is still in trouble. I don't know that Brock Purdy making $50 million a year is going to lead to winning.
We'll see. All right. Mr. Chiefs fan over there.
I'm just stating the facts.
760. Have a great week, boys. Thank you, 760. 615. How cool is it that Donald Trump was clearly listening to the show on Friday and has now decided to reopen Alcatraz prison? That's a win for Sammy.
Not getting into politics of who we like and who we don't like, but I'm just going to say I might have been a fortune teller.
Yeah, you should use that fortune telling ability on long shots. Maybe we'll win some money this week.
That's fair. Derek Togerson, for those who listen to the show on Friday, Derek Togerson hopped on. Fletch was clowning me for thinking that I thought Alcatraz was still an active prison. And
it hasn't been an active prison since the 60s. But this is proof.
It might be about to be.
We kind of live in a simulation. Like the fact that news comes out this weekend is insane. 858, losing the game on a home run off your head. That is a pretty brutal one, too.
That'd be pretty.
Text us 70470. Start your message with team. If you watched the Winnipeg Jets game last night, or if you've just heard about it, it's a pretty brutal way to lose a game. If you're the St. Louis Blues,
yep.
If you're the St. Louis Blues, what would be the worst way to lose a postseason game? Let us know on the text line 70470. Start your message with team. It's San Diego Sports 760. Padres have had a hell of a last 5 games. Let's tell you all about it coming up next.
San Diego Sports Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
South on 163 on the 6th Avenue off-ramp, there's a bike in lanes. Watch for the hazard. Crash partially blocking the transition west 94 to the south 15. Eastbound Coronado Bridge at the toll plaza. a ladder in the middle lane. I'm Mark Zegan, San Diego traffic.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, Meghan Trainor, David Guetta, Cat's Eye, and more. Huntington City Beach. Wango Tango is just a few days away. Get your tickets now. AXS.com.
Vote SDCCU Best Credit Union in the San Diego's Best Union Tribune Readers Poll for the 26th year in a row at sdccu.com/vote. With SDCCU, you can deposit checks, pay bills, and more, all from your phone. SDCCU takes care of their customers and the community. I'm voting them best, and you should too. Federally insured by NCUA. Message and data rates may apply. San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking. It's better. For details, visit sdccu.com/vote.
All of those notifications can wait. This is your friendly lunchtime reminder from Kaiser Permanente that no matter how busy you are, it's important to stay active. A lunchtime walk is a great place to start. Kaiser Permanente San Diego has a variety of options to help you live healthier, including online tools, mobile apps, video appointments, and 29 medical facilities. You can count on us. Visit kp.org/San Diego. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is San Diego, for all that is you.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-973-9714, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9714. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9714 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9714.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
San Diego Sports 760. We got 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every single weekday with the bonus bucks giveaway. That includes today, every hour from 6 to 6. Listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportsSD.com. I do believe your first keyword that hit at 12 today was green, Green, green. So take that over to sportsSD.com. You got a chance to win $1,000 with the bonus bucks giveaway. All right, Padres. Real quick, last week, Sammy and I on Friday, we talked about what would be acceptable for the Pirate series, the Yankees series, and the Rockies series. And I said a over 500 road trip, meaning you take 2 out of 3 against the Pirates, you take 2 out of 3 against the Rockies, tough place to play at Coors Field, and you settle for 1 out of 3 against the Yankees. I would have been fine with that. That would mean 2 out of 3 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, Fernando Tatis Jr. said absolutely not. And so this is going to be a quick 2 minutes of Fernando Tatis Jr. just going above and beyond the Call of Duty for baseball. It was pretty incredible what we saw this weekend. Friday night, you had the rain delay, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. gets hit by a pitch, and he admitted to Kevin Acee the second he got hit by that pitch, he thought his season was over. And if you saw the game, as soon as he gets hit by it, it's in his forearm, kind of just below the elbow. It looked
bad. I thought it was serious when it happened.
It starts swelling up the second it happens. And by the way, it was a twofer. Fernando got hit and the ump got hit in the nuts. And so it's like kind of chaos in the moment, right? Trainers go out and then the camera picks up Fernando Tatis Jr. with this baseball that's just slowly growing on his forearm. Not slowly, immediately growing on his forearm. And it looked bad. And Fernando thought it was bad. And then he goes on Saturday and he wakes up. He's like, oh, it's not that bad. And so he's playing on Saturday. In the top of the 9th inning, after Manny Machado ties up a 1-0 a game that was in the Pirates' favor, Manny ties it up with a solo shot. Great home run for Manny. Good to see him kind of getting back to his ways. But then Fernando in the 9th inning. In the 9th inning, Fernando Tatis Jr. turns a single into a double. Had no business being a double, but he legs it out. And if you give Fernando an inch, he'll take a yard. So he steals or gets to second base on the double that should have been a single. And then he goes and steals third after, I believe, who was up to bat when he stole third? I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. Steals third base. And then a ball that doesn't get more than 6 feet away. They've done the stat cast now on it. That ball never got more than 6 feet away from Joey Bart. He takes home as well. Padres win 2-1. That's how you turn a loss into a win in the way of Fernando Tatis Jr. Pretty amazing what that dude can do on the base paths.
Pretty special weekend to the point on the road trip. We were going, you said 5-4, I said 6-3. Well, great start going 3-0. It was great. I got to give shout out to Stephen Kolek. Stephen Kolek was excellent going 5 2/3. I mean, he was pounding the strike zone. He looked confident. I mean, it's one game. We've seen Vasquez at the beginning of the year look really good. We've seen Hart at the beginning of the year look really good, but seeing what he was able to do, hopefully the Padres could maybe find something at the back there, because Cease didn't inspire a ton of confidence on Friday, only going 4 innings. Again, we give Cease a lot of leeway because Dylan Cease, we know what he is, and we know that he can be a really good player.
Hopefully, running out of time.
Hopefully, it's getting a little bit. In Vasquez, no. Did he give up a lot of runs? No, but too many walks from Vasquez. It's nice seeing on Sunday kind of get going into this weekend or to this 3-game set against the Yankees. Kolek pounding the strike zone. That was excellent to see. And I think a big question about this Yankee series, we kind of turn to that, is they're facing 2 lefties. And the Padres have struggled at times this year against really solid left-handed starting pitchers. I'm excited to see how the bats respond, especially because of all the injuries with Merrill being back. It can't wait for this one. I'm curious, 7-0-4-7-0, sorry, matchup of team. Do you put more emphasis on this series, it being New York? Some people are going to go, it's just May, it's just another series. Who cares? But I feel like there is a little something on this series. You're playing the Yankees. You're playing the most storied franchise in all major leagues. You're on primetime tonight and tomorrow. This series can be really fun.
And you're playing against Aaron Judge, who right now is quite literally on pace to have one of the best seasons in Major League Baseball history from the plate. He's hitting at a historic rate, I believe, since 1969. He has the 5th highest batting average of any player in Major League Baseball through their first 34 games. He's hitting .423 right now, 11 home runs, 33 RBIs. To put that in perspective, he's on a list now with Barry Bonds in 1993 with the Giants, who was hitting .429. Luis Arraez a couple years ago with the Marlins, who was hitting .430. Rod Carew with the Angels in 83, .449, and Paul O'Neill with the Yankees in 94, .459. So through 34 games, Aaron Judge hitting .423, 11 homers, 33 ribbies. Those second 2 numbers, both of them higher than anybody else on that list. Barry Bonds, Luis Arraez, Rod Carew, Paul O'Neill. Aaron Judge is on pace, on a historic pace to start his season. And it's partially because he's playing at Yankee Stadium, which sets up literally perfectly for Aaron Judge to hit as many home runs as possible. Yep. And partially it's because he's really damn good. So Padres pitchers who have struggled on the road so far this year, they were better in Pittsburgh than they had been in previous road series, but Padres have the best ERA in all of baseball. They are middle of the pack when it comes to road pitching. And so they have to go into Yankee Stadium with, like what Sammy said, where it feels a little bit bigger. It feels like baseball history a little bit more. You're on national TV for a couple nights in a row. You're facing one of the best hitters that baseball has to offer.
The team that was in the World Series last year.
And you got to figure out a way to get it done. Now, I said going in 1 out of 3 would be fine. Well, that was before the Padres started playing a little bit better baseball. And against the Pirates, they were playing some good baseball. That looked like the team who started off the season, 17-3, some outrageous number. So if those Padres are coming to play again and Jackson Merrill makes his way back to this team, there's no reason you shouldn't win a series out at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 is definitely should be expected. I mean, in this, we've been tarping on his name for the last couple of weeks, but Xander Bogaerts, this is a really interesting series for him because when he came over from the Red Sox, he used to torch his team.
He just had 3 ribbies the other day.
But no, I'm giving him credit. He's been playing well the last week, especially after the slump. But this is a real kind of possible, I don't want to say coming out party because he's a known player, but kind of get his mojo back, continue to get it back, because this is how he made his name. He would destroy the Yankees in a Boston Red Sox uniform. I mean, looking just here at the stats against Rodon in his career, he's hitting .417 against Rodon, 5 of 12. So I'm excited for Bogaerts in this series. He's familiar with this ballpark, and they're missing Stanton's on the 60-day IL, so that is a little bit of a break for the Padres. They won't be, because that's so tough with Judge and then Stanton back to back. If you let Grisham or any of these guys get on, I mean, it's hard to pitch. you can't pitch around Judge because you got Stanton behind him. Stanton will be missing the game, so a little bit of a break for the Padres. But I'm excited for this one. Pivetta, Rodon, two really good pitchers, and the bat should be flying tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Also, Padres, feel free to take advantage of the short porch as well. It's there for both teams. But yeah, Pivetta, Rodon tonight, and then Michael King going against Schmidt, and then Cease. Hopefully he can get back on track going against Carrasco. Text line has been blowing up early in this one. 858 checking in from last Friday's show. He says Cousin Trey did not get eaten by a shark on the Alcatraz.
Shout out to Cousin Trey.
Shout out Cousin Trey. Glad you got it finished. Glad you didn't get eaten by a shark. I'd love to hear the story. 619 says, Sammy, don't talk the Niners out of paying Brock. He's worth at least half the salary cap.
Hey, SoCal Jayhawk. Yep. I should be a little kinder. To
They're
Brock.
not going to pay him half the salary cap. What's the salary cap? Like 140 now?
Well, he sounds like he ain't taking a hometown discount.
All right. Well, we're going to get off Brock Purdy. We're going to get back to the NBA postseason coming up next, which has actually been really, really good so far. I had a couple of game sevens. The new series have begun already. There was an upset in game 1 of round 2. We'll tell you all about it coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760. Why trust someone from out of market to tell you what you can afford and where? Gary Cooper has been helping folks in San Diego get into their dream home for over 20 years now. Trusted, honest, and hardworking. Call Gary Cooper at 858-376-1299. Tell them Fletch sent you.
We're speaking with Dr. Maximilian Chambers for the Cal Fresh Healthy Living campaign. So sugary drinks like sodas, sweet teas, and energy food drinks, what are the risks?
And African Americans on average consume more sugary drinks than other groups, which is putting us at higher risk for type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and having tooth decay. Always choose water. Water is healthy. Water is normally free in most places, and making sure that you're staying active. Movement is key. UncoverHealthyHabits.com for more tips.
Have you received a notice of high water usage? You may have an underground leak. Don't wait for water damage. Call 800-450-LEAK or visit cpldetection.com. That's cpldetection.com. CPL, the company contractors trust.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now. 800-375-1158. 800-375-1158.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. Like the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with the JBC 4-piece nugs, fries, and a small soft drink. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon all the time. Duh. For the best deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt can? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
San Diego Sports. Now.
The sport is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Padres start a 3-game set against the Yankees in the Bronx. Nick Pivetta will be going for the Padres tonight, where Carlos Rodon will be going for the Yankees. The Yankees are currently favored by -155 for tonight's game. In the NBA, a couple the second round series get going with the Knicks in Boston taking on the Celtics in game one. Boston is currently favored by 9.5 with the point total set at 212.5. In the night game, the Nuggets will be in Oklahoma City taking on the Thunder. The Thunder are favored by 10.5 with the point total set at 226.5. Rapid Radios are instant push to talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscriptions ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
San Diego Sports 760 here on a Monday. If it's your first time trying us out, my name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. Thank you for being here. We sure do appreciate it. We got a pair of tickets to give away today to the Outlaw Music Festival out in Chula Vista at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. That's on May 15th. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, Billy String, Sierra Hull. It's going to be a hell of a show. So if you want those tickets, you can buy them at Ticketmaster.com or just keep listening for the next 10 minutes or so. We're going to be giving those away ahead of Long Shots, which is coming up at 12:45 like it does every single day. Now, I'll be very, very honest with everybody. I ended up having a slammed weekend of just busy. So Friday and Saturday, outside of keeping up with the Padres games and watching of what Don and Mud I could on my phone, except for Friday night, which was the Apple TV game, I was able to keep up with the pods. Outside of that, I didn't watch much sports on Friday or Saturday. Watched the whole Warriors game last night and Rockets. That was fun as the Warriors clinched game 7, making Jim Russell a very, very happy boy. And they move on. Outside of that, Saturday night, I was at the San Diego Food and Wine Festival down at the San Diego Zoo, which was incredible. Had a great time. Drank all the drinks, ate all the eats. It was really, really fun down at the San Diego Zoo. And then yesterday, I actually drove up to San Clemente to meet my buddy who lives in LA halfway so we could watch the Thunderbolts movie together, which I thought was incredible. Really good movie by Marvel. Sam, did you get a chance to see it?
I saw it Saturday night. It was I thought it was excellent. I thought it was one of the best Marvel movies probably since the Avengers, the last one.
Yeah, Endgame. I would probably agree with that. Maybe outside of Guardians of the Galaxy
Spider-Man
3.
was good. Guardians of the Galaxy was good too.
But Thunderbolts, what I liked about it is it did not feel like a Marvel Avengers anything movie. It didn't feel like a superhero movie at all. It felt like a person movie. It felt like anybody could have been the main bad guy in this movie, and it would have gone similarly. I liked that Marvel got through a really powerful message with that movie without forcing it down your throat.
Yeah, well, it was great actors. It was funny.
I thought Bob was fantastic.
Even the bad guy, you kind of feel bad for
the whole time. Like that's the whole point of the movie.
He's not like your typical bad guy where you're like, but no, that was fantastic. I love that. I'm trying to go see Sinners this week, and then we have Mission Impossible 2 weeks from now. That will be an opening.
And
night.
Lilo and Stitch.
What?
The live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. Come on, Sammy. We got a busy couple of weeks coming up in the movie world.
That one might be on Blu-ray.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's maybe. I think it comes out the same day as the Tom Cruise, the Mission Impossible movie.
If you go see Lilo and Stitch over Mission Impossible,
decisions are gonna have to be made.
No,
I love the Mission Impossible movies. No. But I thought Thunderbolts was really good, and it kind of showed a different side of Marvel and where they're going in their future, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know where exactly they go from here. I watched the post-credit scene. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense to me, if those are the two things that they're going to be combining together.
We'll talk off air so we don't spoil for people.
But I liked the movie for a standalone film. I really did. I thought the guy from Stranger Things was awesome. The cop in Stranger Things. He was so good in this movie. And Florence Pugh, not bad.
Hopefully Kendall's not listening.
Russian Florence Pugh. I told her all about it last night when I got home.
Oh, how did she feel about that?
She loved it. It's all good. But what the best part was yesterday after I went and saw this movie, I was like, I got to get home. There's playoff basketball on, blah, 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 blah. And then I remembered, it is Travis Dale's birthday.
Oh, I should have texted him.
Yesterday was his birthday. Today we were doing the presents. I completely forgot about presents. So I went thrifting. I bought him a katana blade, like a sword. I bought him a statue of Buddha that I thought kind of looked like him. I bought him a naked picture of Marilyn Monroe, and I feel like I won birthday.
Only in iHeartMedia can you bring a knife in as a gift. And
sword, thank you.
Sword. No one's asking any questions whatsoever.
It was a full katana blade.
You just walked out. Where did you buy that?
Dude, it's this place called The Mart in Mission Valley, which is like a consignment thrift store. This place is amazing. It had everything in it, dude. Anything you could possibly want is in this store. We got to go. Just walk around. It's so cool.
We'll go check it out.
Oh, I had such a good time. But Travis Dale's birthday was this morning, so happy birthday, big dog. He's a good dude. All right, Padres in New York. We'll get back to that coming up in hour 2. But the Warriors last night putting on a show to take out Houston in the 7th game. It was a good game. It really was. Steph Curry kind of came alive in the 4th quarter after really struggling through the first 3, but the game never really felt in doubt. And Sammy, something you pointed out before the postseason even began was what Houston's biggest problem was going to be. And it was the fact that they didn't have a 1. Well, they do have a 1. His name's Jalen Green. He's that guy. He is talented enough. He's strong enough. He's athletic enough. He's a good shooter. He can drive to the paint. No one could stay in front of him, but he almost scared away from the basketball when the moments got brightest. And that's a real problem for the Houston Rockets that they'll need to figure out. But moving forward, Golden State Warriors, they got Buddy Hield dropping 25. If Steph Curry just kind of waits to the 4th quarter to do his thing, hell, if you have Draymond Green knocking down threes, it feels like the Warriors are going to be a pretty tough out for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, Buddy Hield, these stats, 12 of 15, 9 of 11 from 3, 33 points. I mean, he was
Klay Thompson.
He was fantastic. Exactly, he was Klay Thompson on the night. And yeah, Jalen Green, man, 8 points. I mean, he had 38 points in game 2. That's the reason they won that game. And the rest of the series is kind of non-existent. Now we're hearing a bunch of reports today about Kevin Durant, them trying to go get him in the offseason. I don't know what that looks like for Houston, because then you kind of give up all the young players. Amen Thompson looks really good. He might be better than Jalen Green in terms of the number 1 option.
That game shifted yesterday when Amen Thompson got a little banged up. It looks like he was having like spasms in his calf or something.
Well, and then this is what you see with the Warriors is they get the game. I believe it was 63-60. They hit a 3. It might have been Thompson that hit the 3, or Jabari Smith hit the 3. Excuse me. Jabari Smith hit the 3. 63-60 in Houston. Crowds into it, rocking into it. What happens? Jimmy Butler corner 3. Then when the game is somewhat in doubt, it's like 8-point game, 9-point game with about 4 minutes to go, or something could happen. Jimmy Butler gets a steal, gets a dunk. They go to money time, as you pointed out. Steph Curry didn't do much the first half, but he's just kind of waiting. He's kind of buying time, letting everyone else. Buddy Hield getting involved. Pajemski didn't have the biggest game, but got involved there. And then Jimmy Butler and Curry just closed the show. And then moving on to this Minnesota series, I mean, this is a fun kind of matchup because the Warriors are actually underdogs in the series. We're going to get into
probably should be. Minnesota's huge.
That's the problem. So we saw what happened with the Lakers. The Lakers got out-muscled on pretty much everyone on the Minnesota team. Now, the Warriors are smaller than even the Lakers are. Even the Lakers don't have a traditional big. The only big is Draymond Green, and he's not that big. He's just a good defender. But they're better shooters than the Lakers.
Who would you say? Is Şengün a better player than Rudy Gobert?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so Draymond's
100%.
probably going to draw Rudy Gobert, right?
But yes, he'll take Rudy Gobert. This series is going to come down to because McDaniels is probably going to either be on Curry or Butler, probably Butler because he's a little bit bigger. Let Edwards run with Curry. Can Podziemski or one of these guys take advantage of the Julius Randle matchup? Can Buddy Hield do what he did last night? Because that's what the Lakers couldn't do. The Lakers had no help from the supporting cast. It was Luka by himself. It was LeBron by himself, and no one else could do anything. I think we're going to see in this series, there's going to be some thrilling games. I could see some blowouts if the shots aren't falling where Minnesota gets after them, but this one's a tough one to get after. Like I
think so too, man. I don't know, because Anthony Edwards, I kind of think of him as like the Jalen Ramsey from 4 or 5 years ago,
totally.
Where he's on somebody and you just take that person out of the equation because he's that good of a defender.
And then the problem with that is, do you stick Edwards on Curry? Because if Edwards gets in foul trouble, he's basically your whole offense. So there's kind of a debate for Chris Finch is, do you let him run with him? They had the luxury of Jaden McDaniels being on Luka the whole time. So they were like, if Jaden McDaniels fouls out, it sucks. But at the end of the day, Anthony Edwards isn't getting after it. I'm interested to see how the matchups happen with Chris Finch, but we know Steve Kerr, fantastic coach. And another little underlying thing with this series, it came out today.
Anthony Edwards shaved his head.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
That's the underlying theory, I thought.
No, he said that. So when he got drafted, when the Warriors were picking second or third, I can't remember when they got Wiseman. They drafted James Wiseman at the top of the draft.
Waste of a pick.
Steve Kerr told hhim. Now Steve Kerr coached Anthony Edwards in the Olympics. Steve Kerr said that if we had the number 1 pick, we wouldn't take you. And Anthony Edwards said, "Oh, wow, that's crazy." And so there's kind of this little beef starting already with the series. I think this is going to be a fun one to watch. Can't miss TV.
I think the world of Steph Curry. I think the world of Anthony Edwards. Those are probably my 2 favorite NBA players as it stands right at this moment. And I think those 2 guys going to battle for hopefully what is 7 games is going to be awesome. Can't miss TV. The problem is looking past that. So, like, say Minnesota wins this series, right? So you got the Timberwolves and OKC going to battle in the next round in the NBA Western Conference Finals. And then say in the East, it does end up being Cavs and Celtics like we think it is. Pacers might be making some noise to think otherwise. But say it ends up being OKC, Minnesota, or sorry, OKC and Cleveland. Is anybody watching that?
The NBA, it's interesting.
I think it'll be a good series.
That's so in terms of no. Did the NBA set out to go? Oh man, let's get Cleveland, Oklahoma City. No, they wanted the Lakers and the Knicks, the Lakers and the Celtics, the Warriors and the Celtics, big brands, things like that move the needle.
If it was Lakers Celtics, the NBA set for the next 5 years.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be. Or can you imagine if the Knicks got there? I mean, it would be unbelievable. Stephen A. Smith would be having a field day on first take. But in terms of the basketball on the court between Cavs and Thunder, that would be a extremely exciting series. In the NBA Finals the last couple of years, like you look at last year, the Mavs were just overmatched. I mean, you got to credit Luka and Kyrie for getting there, but Derek Lively's a rookie. They had no shot against that Celtic team. I still think the Celtics are coming out of the East, but I mean, in terms of a great NBA Finals, that ends up drawing ratings at the end of the day. There's nothing better than an NBA Finals Game 7. I mean, that's what you wish for. We haven't gotten that in a few years. It's been a little while, so I think it would be exciting in that regard.
We'll see what happens, man. It's been fun so far. Hopefully the fun can keep rolling. I mean, you all know that I'm not the biggest NBA guy in the world, but I've been locked into this postseason because it's been good, and guys are seeming to care, and guys are playing their asses off. It's been so overly physical compared to everything that the NBA has given us over the last couple of years. I've been really enjoying it.
How disappointed are you in Kawhi Leonard and James Harden?
All right, so let's. All right, we got 2 minutes here. Let's get into it because I saw a graphic go up the other day of the trade package that the Clippers, when they traded for Paul George initially, what they sent away. Are we all aware that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was one of those pieces that they sent away, along with a laundry list of draft picks and other players? Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who many would say is the best player of the NBA this season, is going to win the MVP most likely, was part of a deal to bring Paul George to the Clippers to run alongside Kawhi Leonard so that team could win championships. Kawhi Leonard disappeared a little bit in his Game 7. Russell Westbrook has the game of his life, and the Nuggets move on, and they'll be taking the Clippers' place. And what I thought Clippers had a better shot against OKC than the Nuggets will. Whatever about that. For the Clippers, if this was Kawhi's last best chance, which I think it was, this is hugely disappointing for both Los Angeles teams this postseason, who both kind of fell off without any real fireworks.
Yeah, the Clippers are always trying to be the Lakers, and they actually became the Lakers because they booked that trip early to Cancun. So for all those Clipper fans that were running their mouth, this is the thing that
they lasted 2 games longer than the Lakers did.
My Lakers took a beating. I'm here for it. It sucks. I'm depressed that they're out of it, but we got to take our lumps. This is the thing though with the Clippers. In all seriousness, they don't move off players. Say what you want about the Lakers. Say what you want about the drama of getting rid of Vogel and Darvin Ham. But when something's not working in LA, they make changes. The Clippers don't. The Clippers are so desperate to be relevant because in Los Angeles, they're the stepchild. They're the ugly son. They're not. It's not the number one thing at top of AM 570 up there in Los Angeles. But it's.
But seriously, you add Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to this Clippers team, they're not losing.
But that's part of the problem. You don't develop young prospects. You could have had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You go get a Paul George, a player who's never been a postseason performer. And now it's like, what's going to happen next year? You're going to run the same team back. Yeah, on paper, they're going to be relevant again. But is Kawhi Leonard, it's another year of James Harden being older. We know what James Harden does in Game 7s, and Kawhi needs to ask for the ball more. We saw him take 15 shots in Game 5 or 6. Like, that's unacceptable from the best player on the team. I think that, I don't know what the Clippers are going to do, but it just feels like they're getting older and kind of less relevant.
It does suck, man. I wanted to see Kawhi get another shot, and I still think that the Clippers would have been a much stiffer test for OKC.
I agree. They're deeper than Denver.
You're not going to get that performance out of Russell Westbrook again. Yeah.
He shot 41% from the field.
Dude was incredible. Like, that was vintage Russ. That was MVP Russ. You're not going to get that again if you're the Nuggets. So when you're going up against OKC, that could end up being a 5, maybe even a 4-game sweep. It's going to be rough to watch. All right, San Diego Sports 760. We were talking about damn, I had a really good segue for this. Something that hadn't been done in a year, and I was going to make fun of you and say Long Shots hasn't won.
I was getting texted from listeners or DM'd over the weekend that we've had a tough week.
We had a real tough last 2 weeks. Let's see if we can fix that. Coming up next, Long Shots. But before we do that, pair of tickets to go to the Outlaw Music Festival coming up on May 15th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Caller number 6, you are going to see Billy Strings. Sierra Hull, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson. Great lineup out at the Outlaw Music Festival. Caller number 6 right now. If you want to buy tickets, Ticketmaster.com. But caller number 6, you are going for free. 877-767-4760. Call now.
San Diego Sports Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage.
Hazards you watch for: the South 5 bypass lanes at Sorrento Valley Road, a dead animal in lanes. The connector West 94 to the South 15, there's a crash there. It is on the narrow right shoulder. I'm Mark Zegan, San Diego traffic.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about fun Mother's Day gifts, all for under $15? Get low prices every day on unique finds before they're gone. In-store only at Macy's Backstage today. Find a location near you at Macy'sBackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low fives, saving her over $1,000 per month and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 619-207-4336. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Your tickets for the San Diego Giving Back raffle helps families at our local Ronald McDonald House stay close when their hospitalized child needs them most, and gives you a chance to win a multi-million-dollar Carlsbad Beach House, dream vacations, and so much more. Visit SDRaffle.com to get your tickets today.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, Meghan Trainor, David Guetta, Cat's Eye, and more. Huntington City Beach. Wango Tango is just a few days away. Get your tickets now. 8xs.com.
Selling your home shouldn't be stressful, and it definitely shouldn't come with surprises. But if your house needs repairs and you're under pressure to sell quickly, it can start to feel overwhelming. And let's be honest, some of those so-called cash buyers just make it worse, hitting you with lowball offers, last-minute changes, or empty promises. Hi, I'm Josh with Sunday, and Sunday helps homeowners sell as is. No repairs, no cleanings, no open houses. Just a real competitive offer from a name you can trust. And here's the best part. You can get up to $20,000 cash advance before closing. That's money you can actually use before the sale is complete. So skip the stress and the shady deals with pushy salesmen. If you're ready to sell, do it the smart way. Do it the Sunday way. Hassle-free, as is, and totally on your terms. Call us today at 858-567-0006. That's 858-567-0006, or visit Sunday.com. That's SUNDAE.com.
Vote SDCCU Best Credit Union in the San Diego's Best Union Tribune Readers Poll for the 26th year in a row at SDCCU.com/vote. With SDCCU, you can deposit checks, pay bills, and more, all from your phone. SDCCU takes care of their customers and the community. I'm voting them best, and you should too. Federally insured by NCUA. Message and data rates may apply. San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking. It's better. For details, visit SDCCU.com/vote.
For more information about contests on this station, go to sportssd.com/rules.
John and Jim. So far, we have not seen the real, or at least the Dylan Cease that we have come to expect on the field. What he did last year, you saw the best of him.
Padres talk.
6 starts for Cease, 1 in which he's gone 6 innings. It's April, you're not always expecting your starters to go 6+ innings, but with someone like Dylan Cease, you kind of do expect him to go 6 innings more often than not.
Weekdays at 2. San Diego Sports. 760. America's finest sports station. With Cox Internet and Mobile, the price of your plan won't go up for 3 years. Restrictions apply. Visit Cox.com/value.
San Diego Sports 760 every single day on this show. And congratulations to Daniel, by the way, who won those Outlaw Music Festival tickets. We'll have more of those throughout the week. Every day on the show, we do something called Long Shots, where Sammy Long, who gets in his lab and he's like pouring different chemical concoctions together, he creates a daily fantasy sports lineup. If you want to do it with us, we use Prize Picks on a daily basis. you can do the same thing. When you do use promo code Fletch, you're going to get a $50 bonus after you play your first $5 entry. This could be that $5 entry. Sammy Long has been on a little bit of a rough stretch. So we went on a tear in March and April where personally, just speaking for myself here, I cashed out over $600 because of Sammy Long's picks. April was not kind. The end of April. The beginning of May has not been kind either. That all changes starting right freaking now.
Let's see. Underdogs? Nah, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, got it. It's time for Sammy's long shots.
I think it's starting to have a physical toll on me, Sammy. Like my knee has started hurting. I haven't had knee pain in 5 years.
Really?
Now I'm just like my
rough picks have created it.
I think so. I don't know what else explains it.
People listen. We go through rough patches. Okay, it's like life. You gotta ride with the waves. Okay, you're not just with everyone on their best days.
We need a slump buster.
And what way to do that?
Put Russell Westbrook on a lineup. Dude, Russell Westbrook is the slump buster.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So I have a 5-pick play, but Fletch is going to veto 2, okay? We need a winner, so five's aggressive. We need 3, but I put a lot on here so we can make some picks. So I'm going to do 1 baseball pick, and we're going to do 4 NBA picks.
Is it Aaron Judge to hit a home run? Because I might smack you if that's the case.
It's not. Well, that could actually help the bet, but obviously we're not rooting for that to happen. So Nick Pivetta and Carlos Rodon, more than 1 first inning run allowed. I think Pivetta's been great. Rodon's been great. There's 2 good batters in this series. Judge, Bellinger's toward the bottom of the lineup, but Bellinger, obviously Machado, Tatis. Tatis on a little bit of a tear right now. Merrill likely back tonight. So I'm thinking that there's 1 run in the first inning. We've gotten burned in the last couple of these on going less than, so we're going more than today. Now I know text line. I know you don't like it. You want to put the Padres in here. Fletch, it's up to Fletch. He wants to veto it. That's fine. But
this feels like a veto to me.
All right. Well, let me know. Okay. So tonight, Boston in New York. That's the early game tonight. Peyton Pritchard, more than 8.5 points.
Coming off the bench, right?
Coming off the bench.
Crack the lineup.
This is the secret sauce of the Boston Celtics. Even though it makes me sick, they are absolutely deep 1 through 10. This team has the star power of Tatum. They have the star power of Brown, Porzingis, a lot of great guys. But what happens is when they have off nights, Pritchard comes off the bench. Luke Cornett comes off the bench. I mean, they are deep, and it's tough. You have to play a complete game to beat them. But the Knicks have a starting 5 to match up with them. The problem is the bench of the Knicks is not comparable to the Celtics. I think Pritchard comes off the bench. They play Tibbs. We've been talking about it all season long. He plays 8 guys, and he plays them the whole year, and they're gassed out by the end of the season. I think Pritchard comes off the bench. It's a big performance, 8.5 points. He's been kind to us on long shots as well. He's hit a couple of us for us.
Once.
Still kind.
Okay, I'm going to have you do me a favor real quick. Turn off your mic for a second because you just broke a long shots rule that we put in place during March Madness.
What?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what it is off mic. So 3, 2, 1.
Unbelievable.
We put that in place during March Madness.
Unbelievable. All right.
Do you remember?
I don't know. I never agreed to that. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But okay. Back to we're hitting picks. Okay. OG Anunoby.
You broke a rule that we put in place during March Madness.
I had nothing to do with that rule. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We were sitting down at the SDFC game when we made that rule.
No. First off, you were a little buzzed at the SDFC game.
A beer.
OG Anunoby, more than 16 points. Again, this kind of ties back into the same game. Jaylen Brown is going to be on Jalen Brunson all night. Jaylen Brown is the best defender on the team. Tatum likely on Anunoby. Be interesting if they kind of do a little switch up there. I think Anunoby, this is his night. Jaylen Brown is an elite defender. Jalen Brunson is going to get his, but his number's high at 27.5. OG Anunoby, more than 16 points. When the Knicks win games, it's usually because Anunoby has a big performance. Okay, heading to the night game. Russell Westbrook, 11 points, less than. He shot 41% in this series. And that's because the Clippers were leaving him literally open the entire time. Except Oklahoma City's the best defense in the league, and it's by a country mile. They're great in transition. They're number 1, I believe, in defensive transition. That's usually where Russell Westbrook gets a lot of his buckets. If he hits this because he's hitting threes, then I guess we're not meant to win because Russell Westbrook does not hit 3-pointers. 11 points are going to be keying on him. And then I have another one I was going to throw in there, but if we want to keep it at that, we can say that.
Let's keep it here. I am going to veto the baseball one.
Okay. That's fine.
That's two. Also, the baseball one. So you had Pivetta and Rodon more than one first inning run, right? Or more than a half first inning run. Meaning either the Yankees or the Padres score in the first inning. Here's my problem with it. Here's my problem with it. If it loses, we're out early because this game starts at like 4 something.
Okay, I hear that.
So we're going 3.
That's fair.
You want to rip through them real quick?
All right, Peyton Pritchard, more than 8.5 points. OG Anunoby, more than 16 points. And Russell Westbrook, less than 11 points.
I like this.
I feel solid about this. I like this bet. I think the Pritchard and OG Anunoby, I think they're going to have a big performance. The Knicks are going to come to play tonight. They got to steal one in Boston. I think this is their best shot. They get one in Boston. This is interesting because they could easily get one at the Garden. If they get swept, it's going to be tough for them to come back in the series. And Russell Westbrook, we're playing that law of averages. He's going to come back tonight.
I think so too. Russ is going to go for nothing tonight. Maybe 2 points and like 5 bricks. All right. If you just heard that lineup, that is what we do on a daily basis on long shots, but you can enter that lineup on Prize Picks. And you could use promo code Fletch when you sign up for Prize Picks. That's going to get you a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 entry. Prize Picks is my favorite app on my phone. Play it on a daily basis, both with Sammy, and then I do my own stuff to actually make money. But Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy
This is what
app
I have to deal with.
I've ever played. It's tens of millions of people have already downloaded the app. Billions of dollars have already been awarded in winnings. Get your share today. Download Prize Picks. Use promo code Fletch. Take advantage of the promotions. In fact, today they got, in honor of Cinco de Mayo, they got 10% payout boost on 5 different sports. If you didn't know, Cinco Spanish for the number 5. So on that lineup that Sammy just made, we could do a 10% NBA or basketball payout boost. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch. Get that $50 bonus and start winning some real cash on Prize Picks, up to 2,000 times your cash by just making an entry. An entry is more than or less than on at least 2 players, and you could go all the way from 2 to 6 players. We did 3 on this one. I feel pretty good about it. We will check in with you tomorrow to see how it went. If you need to DM me to ask for those picks, go ahead at Fletch Sports on both Instagram and X. You can find me there. Send me a DM. I'll send you a screenshot of the picks. But download the app today. Use promo code Fletch. Get the $50 bonus. And stay tuned. Hour number 2 coming up next.
Are you the breadwinner in your house? Life insurance covers the cost of living in case you're not there to provide. Are you a stay-at-home parent? Then consider life insurance to protect your loved ones too. Most people don't know if you have term life insurance, you may be paying too much. Term life insurance rates are at historic lows. There's actually a price war among the top insurance companies. Call Term Busters and get a free quote fast. Term Busters will do all the hard work of comparing rates from top carriers to get you the best coverage at the lowest rates possible. Right now, a healthy 45-year-old non-smoking male can lock in $500,000 in coverage at just $55 a month for 20 years. That's right, level rate for 20 years. Smokers can get good rates too. Call now for your free rate quote, 800-200-3070. That's 800-200-3070. Stop paying too much for life insurance. Call Term Busters now. 800-200-3070. 800-200-3070. Sample rate for preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Keep your ride summer road trip ready with parts, tools, and accessories from Summit Racing. We have what you need for pre-trip maintenance, plus essentials like emergency roadside kits, tire inflators, jumper cables, boost jump starters, tool sets, and a whole lot more. So hit the highways or take the roads less traveled with confidence. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 25th, 2025. Summitracing.com. Let's build it together.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
News, has never been so important.
We've got breaking news from Capitol Hill.
And iHeart makes it so easy to stay in the know with 24/7 news on iHeartRadio.
A major breakthrough in medical research.
Live around the clock, so you're never more than 3 minutes away from the stories that matter most.
Extreme weather is impacting millions.
24/7 news, right at your fingertips with the free iHeart app, where you can now make 24/7 news a preset for even quicker access. 24/7 news on iHeartRadio.
San Diego Sports 760 has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now at sportssd.com. KGB and KGB FM HD2 San Diego. Number 1 on your car radio preset. And on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We never sounded so good.
This sports sponsored by Pala Casino, Spa, and Golf Resort. The Padres start a 3-game series in New York against the Yankees. Jackson Merrill, per Kevin Acee, is on track to be playing tomorrow. He is still traveling there today. In the NBA tonight at 4 o'clock, the Knicks will be taking on the Celtics in Boston. Boston is currently a 9.5-point favorite with the point total set at 212.5. And the Nuggets will be in Oklahoma City taking on the Thunder after beating the Clippers in their series. Oklahoma City is an early 10.5-point favorite with the point total set at 226.5. Jefferson Starship is coming to Pala Casino Starlight Theater on Friday, May 30th at 8 p.m. Get ready for an unforgettable live performance experience. Get your tickets today at palacasino.com. Pala Casino, just 10 minutes east of I-15 and Highway 76.
Check the clock.
What time is it?
It's high noon. Pittsburgh is nice in the springtime.
Line to left, and that's it for a hit. From third base comes Lockridge. Arise. Going to try and score. Here comes the throw. He will be safe. Padres lead it 4-0.
The Padres sweep the Pirates in the Steel City.
Up next, it's off to the Bronx to face the Yankees.
Back at home at Snapdragon for SDFC. Must have felt good.
Anders Dyer all by himself. Chucky delivers. Goal. Anders Fire. Anders Dreyer.
A 5-0 win over Dallas. Plus the latest on the NBA postseason.
The Golden State Warriors have come to Houston yet again to close out a series, and they win 103-89 as they win Game 7 here.
A look back at the weekend in the Fletch Zone.
Yeah, let's get it going here. It's hour number 2 on San Diego Sports 760. My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. We will be with you till 2 o'clock today when John and Jim take over. Some reaction coming in from Long Shots. Tyler on YouTube says, "In Sammy, we trust."
Shout out to Tyler, man.
I believe I met Tyler out at the Dos de Mayo party on Friday.
Tyler's the man. He's always sending me pics. He's a loyal listener. We love Tyler.
Love you, pal. Thank you for being here. And then on the text line, Fletch, you can't have a slump buster. You are a married man.
Yeah, dude.
Slump buster in terms of winning a Prize Picks entry for the first time in a month or so. I feel like that's due today.
I feel good about this. This is a very solid lineup we cooked up.
It's small. It's petite.
It's small.
It's
yeah,
light.
That's the thing we have to remember. You know, I was getting hit by some loyal listeners, rightfully frustrated about the lack of winning. But there's always the Kentucky Derby. We got the Preakness coming up, or we can really get
When did we start talking horse racing? What just happened?
No, because listener hit me on Friday, Ray, loyal listener.
What up, Ray?
And said Long Shots needs to be retired. And I said, listen, the Kentucky Derby is in T-minus 10 hours. There's always tomorrow. And then when the Derby didn't hit, then there's the night NBA games. And then Sunday. That's how we gamble. We don't quit. We're not quitters. Okay, we keep it up. We're not here to roll over after a day.
By the way, were you bummed journalism did not win at the Kentucky Derby? It was Sovereignty who ended up winning.
I did have an unspecified amount of money on journalism.
A little wet, little rainy horse race we had going on.
Yeah, Sovereignty, little come from behind win.
That was pretty impressive.
Journalism almost had it, but he broke to unbelievable.
I will say I prefer it when like big races like that, whether it is the Preakness or whether it is the Kentucky Derby. It's never as much fun when a horse wins by like a whole horse.
No, it's fun when it's like a photo finish.
Give it to me where it's just a nose hair above the other horse. That's when it's more fun. But good event. I saw Livy Dunn doing the pregame for the Kentucky Derby. Look, she's really good at what she does in the Viore ads, in the TikTok dances and stuff. I don't know that we need Livy Dunn on a microphone. It wasn't great. It was awkward. It was clunky. It was weird. She didn't seem like she was having that great of a time.
It was an odd lineup of like celebrity guests.
It was just weird. Like I felt bad for her, honestly. Like I'm not taking a shot at Livy Dunn right now. I'm a big fan of her work. But what I will say, like she was uncomfortable
You're a big fan
doing what she was doing. Like she's so good at gymnastics. She's so good at TikTok dances. She's so good at making unreal amount of money, more than Sammy and I will make in a lifetime. She's not great behind the mic. And if her job was to fire people up, I think she did the opposite, and she looked uncomfortable at it as well.
It's okay.
Is that fair to say?
People have when people have money on something, they don't need to be fired up.
But that was her thing. Like she was there to fire up the people in attendance. She was there to fire up people who were watching on TV. And Livy, I love you. Believe me, you're my girl. I'll step up for you in any way possible.
That's actually Paul Skeen's girl.
That was bad. It was brutal. It was tough to watch. That's all we got to say about that. All right. In the first hour, we actually took a look back at the weekend of NBA postseason. This hour, we're going to look forward to what's to come in the NBA postseason. We got another 2 series kicking off tonight. We already had one upset, huge one in the second round of the NBA postseason. We'll get all to that in about 15 minutes from now. But right now, it is time for Big 3 in hour number 2. Sammy Long, hit that button.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
If you want to watch the show, feel free to do so, both on YouTube and on X. On YouTube, we are at San Diego Sports 760. That one stays live from 12 to 6 every single weekday. John and Jim pick it up right after we do. And then on X, at Fletch and Sammy. At Fletch and Sammy. No IE on Sammy. It's a Y at the end of that bad boy. You get frustrated when people put an IE on it?
No. I go with whatever. The only thing that used to bother me in school is people would call me Sam. And I'm not, like, no one, my family doesn't call me Sam.
How about Samuel?
That's actually my real name, but again, no one calls me it. Like, since I was like 1 year old, everyone says Sammy. But teachers would always be like Sam, and I'd be like, no, it's Sammy. And then they go, okay, so Sam's coming up to, I'm like, okay, I just told you what my name is. But no, I don't care about IE.
All right, Sammy, with an IE. Where are we starting with hour 2?
Okay, so we'll start with the Padres, big 3-game series in New York. Is for Fletch, for you, is there more juice on the series because they're playing the Yankees, or is this just kind of another series for you in May?
Maybe 10 or 15 years ago, the answer would be yes. Because 10 or 15 years ago, the Padres kind of sucked. And it was like anytime you get to see them on national TV, it's something cool. It's a little different. I sort of hate it when the Padres are on national TV now because Don and Bud do about as good a job as anybody in all of baseball. You could make an argument for the Krooks and the Kipes of the world. Those guys have been doing the San Francisco Giants broadcast forever. I know the Twins have really good local broadcasters. The Yankees for years had John Ireland on their radio broadcast, which was amazing. But John Ireland, I think, is now retired.
He's the Laker. No, he's the Laker.
Not John Ireland. Who am I thinking of?
Yankees. I'm losing you on this one.
Epic broadcaster. I'm forgetting his name right now. That's embarrassing. John Sterling. Thank you, Mike Usher. John Sterling, who was the epic voice of the Yankees for a long, long time. Actually had him on the show here a couple times. Feel bad about that. But when you see Don and Mud, it's just different. Like Don and Mud are Padres baseball, as big as Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, any of the guys in the field.
Did you see what he ate in the rain delay?
Yeah, he's insane. Mudcat was wearing a bucket hat. He was wearing a full Padres swag. It was great TV. You don't get that on national TV. So the answer to me is no, it's not as big because it's not Don and Mud.
I hear you there in terms of like the broadcast I'd rather listen to, but there is something more on this series for the Padres because the Padres, number one, there's been a common theme of if the Padres had gotten past the Dodgers, a lot of people feel like they would have gotten past the Mets, and they would have, if that would have happened, again, ifs and buts, they would have matched up with this team. They would have matched up with the New York Yankees. And I know Juan Soto isn't there anymore. And what's his face? The number one pitcher's hurt for the whole year. Garrett Cole is hurt for the whole year. But still, this is a really good Yankee team, a Yankee team that could very well be representing in the World Series. And there is something to this because the Padres are playing really good baseball right now. And baseball is such a regional sport. It's the Dodgers get talked about, the Yankees get talked about, the Red Sox get talked about, and then the Cubs. And that's on most national radio shows. But in terms of local radio, it's very regionalized. And the Padres have quietly been playing extremely great baseball. And the diehard baseball fans know this. And I think the Padres have really been put on the map, the last couple of years with the success. But then we talked about this. How do you get a Dodger-Padres series interesting to some kid in Baltimore? Why would some kid in Baltimore care about who's never been to Southern California care about that? Because you see the rivalry there. In playing the Yankees, playing another massive historic franchise, the most probably historic franchise in all of Major League Baseball, to be able to prove that on national TV, it's cool to see a lot more eyeballs on it. And I'm excited for this series. And the Padres have struggled a little bit. I give them credit last week against the Giants because the Giants are a good team. They've struggled a little bit this year against the upper echelon teams. I'm looking forward to them have a big 3-game series and build on this weekend.
Are we positive that the Yankees are upper echelon as of right now? Like, they're on top of the American League East. They're 19-15 on the year, but they're 5-5 over their last 10. Are we positive that the Yankees are the upper echelon of baseball?
Yeah, well, the Padres went 3-8 in 11-game stretch
For sure.
The Yankees are definitely an upper echelon team.
Aaron Judge is an upper echelon player, but what are they? They've lost 3 of their last 4 coming into this series.
They lost 3 of their last 4, but you're talking about Paul Goldschmidt's there, Cody Bellinger's there, Stanton's going to come back.
Paul Goldschmidt, by the way, Padre killer for years.
By the way, whose stats have destroyed Nick Pivetta, so that's a little matchup to watch in this series.
All right, next up.
Let's head back to the NFL. We did this hour 1, but I think there's still a little more meat on the bone there. So Matthew Stafford, $44 million restructured per year. He got $4 million today. He will have $40 million the rest of his remaining salary, but took a very team-friendly deal.
I'm glad you bring this up because I know you're going for the Brock Purdy thing.
No, I'm not even going for the Brock Purdy thing. That's going to be on top of this. But, we've seen a difference in sports of guys taking less money. Jackson Merrill takes less money, 9 years, $135 million, in a sport where there's no salary cap. And then the NFL, we've seen Brady do it. We've seen Mahomes do it. We've seen Josh Allen do it. Now we're seeing Matthew Stafford do it.
Okay, Mahomes is still making like $50-something million a year.
He gives the team flexibility.
All right. Here's the thing. Matthew Stafford is at a point in his career where he's already signed the max contract. Matthew Stafford at one point was the highest paid player in football. Matthew Stafford's already done all of this. So now is the time in his career where, yes, take a team-friendly deal. Try to get the Rams as stacked as possible heading into next season so you have one more bite at the apple, because most likely this is it for Matthew Stafford. This is his final year as an NFL quarterback. We thought he might retire at the end of last season. We thought he might get traded to the Giants. We thought a lot of things about Matthew Stafford. So maybe at this point in his career, he says, yeah, you know what? I have more money than I'm going to be able to do with for the rest of my life. Let's take a team-friendly deal. By the way, still stacking $44 million back on the gold pile that I have back at home. It's just a completely different situation to even try to compare it to any other quarterback right now.
So are you saying that you think that Brock Purdy knows he's a fraud, so he's trying to get as much money as possible?
No, dude, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Brock Purdy's a quarterback who took his team to a Super Bowl a couple years ago, who took his team to an NFC championship a year before that, and did play great in the postseason. You cannot deny that he played great in the postseason, who has the numbers of a top tier.
He had a good quarter against the Packers.
He had a great second half against the Packers and fought the team back from 17-0. So when you look at what he is, why shouldn't he be shooting for $55 million, which, by the way, is still a little bit lower than the top end of quarterback? I also don't know why you obsess about a contract to a quarterback on a team that you might see in the Super Bowl again.
You have talked about – no, that's not happening. But Dak Prescott – we talk about this. What's the worst kind of quarterback to have? Dak Prescott. Kirk Cousins, guys that sell a lot of tickets, and guess what? They have a lot of stats. They do. They have success, but when they need to win in the big moments, and I'll give you boy Purdy credit on this. He has had some big playoff performances. He was really good against the Lions. He was good in the second half against the Packers. But when you're talking about making $45 million a year is a lot of money. It is life-changing money. Do you have to take everything knowing that Brock Purdy knows that he struggled last year when the team was hurt. And again, that's not all Brock Purdy's fault. The team was massively hurt.
The defense was a lot worse than the offense.
That's fine. But guess what? The defense now is going to be a lot worse because they've literally had to let the players go.
No, it's not. Saul is back. Defense is fixed.
So even though it's fixed, Greenlaw and Hufanga gone?
Jackson Merrill signs this contract, team-friendly deal like you're talking about. You know who's pissed at Jackson Merrill?
The other players.
Exactly.
Except here's the difference with Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill plays in a sport where there's no salary cap. So I understand other players being frustrated at Jackson Merrill. Great for the city of San Diego.
Okay, every time we see a running back take a little bit less money, we hear from the Players Association in the NFL.
I know, but it's a salary cap.
Right. So if you are Matthew Stafford, you're at the end of your career, why not? Shave $15 million off my deal. I don't need it all. But if you're Brock Purdy, if you are that next generation of quarterback, the Joe Burrows of the world, the Lamar Jacksons of the world, if you take anything less,
do you think he's Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow?
I don't think he's there,
right,
but
so
that's why
he's getting paid like that.
He's getting paid less than that. He's getting paid less than all those guys. If he signs the $53 million deal, like I think he will.
Charged with $55 million right now. That's the problem. Jackson Merrill is I understand other players being frustrated at Jackson Merrill. again, fantastic for the city of San Diego, fantastic for Padre fans for San Diego.
I'll bet you there's people in the Padres clubhouse who are mad at Jackson Merrill for signing that deal.
I'm sure privately they are pissed. And you know why? Because it's like, why wouldn't you get more money? This is a sport where you can get as much money as possible. The Padres are cash strapped, but they signed a really flexible thing. The NFL, you said the running back market's already low enough. When a running back takes less money, that means less for everyone else because they're not going to be able to cap that. Brock Purdy, I think, is in for some tough negotiating with your Niners and John Lynch because of Matthew Stafford. This is a good thing for you, Fletch, the fact that Stafford signed this. You're looking at this all wrong. You should be happy that this is happening.
I don't think you can even compare the two. And I think Brock Purdy and his agent would be silly to even hear that conversation from the Niners, which I'm sure they will bring up. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Time for a quick break. When we come back, NBA postseason, what's to come, plus Big Three story number 3 that we didn't get to because we were arguing about quarterbacks making money. That's next. San Diego Sports 760.
San Diego Sports Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
It's a new accident west 8 at the 805. It's on the right shoulder. However, the fire department is blocking the slow lane. This crash in the West 94 to South 15 connector apparently is still on that narrow right shoulder. I'm Mark Zegan, San Diego Traffic.
Get big summer flavor in every bite with the new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Featuring new mixing bowl mashup, fan-voted s'mores, and more. For a limited time right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. At participating locations.
Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, Megan Trainor, David Guetta, Cat's Eye, and more. Huntington City Beach. Wango Tango is just a few days away. Get your tickets now. AXS.com.
Vote SDCCU Best Credit Union in the San Diego's Best Union Tribune Readers Poll for the 26th year in a row at SDCCU.com/vote. With SDCCU, you can deposit checks, pay bills, and more, all from your phone. SDCCU takes care of their customers and the community. I'm voting best, and you should too. Federally insured by NCUA. Message and data rates may apply. San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking. It's better. For details, visit SDCCU.com/vote.
When you need a fix of the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, search 1015 KGB on iHeartRadio.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-973-9714, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9714. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9714 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9714.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Every time I hear the song, I think about The Office. Michael and Jim singing this together at the karaoke party in season 2.
The best. Or Jack Black and Jimmy Fallon.
That too. Wednesday, 6 o'clock right here on San Diego Sports 760. It's SDFC Midweek Live here from the head coach, Mikey Varis, as well as interviews with players and coaches. Find out the latest club and MLS information hosted by D. Smith. SDFC Midweek Live every Wednesday at 6 right here on your home for SDFC San Diego Sports 760. How about SDFC smashing Dallas FC all the way back to where they came from? 5-0.
That was my story 3. They're up to 9 in the power rankings.
5-0 over Dallas FC. Good night for the boys out at Snapdragon Stadium. All right, NBA postseason. Let's get into it a little bit. Sammy, you want to set the table here? What do we got coming up tonight?
So we got Knicks and Boston. I'm excited for this series in terms of it's probably not going to be a great series, but I mean, there's nothing like Knicks fans. Does
Jalen Brunson have the firepower to keep up with the depth of Boston?
Jalen Brunson does. This is not a question about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson 1,000,000% has the ability to deal with this. The problem is the rest of the team. The problem is did Tibbs run through this entire lineup in only playing 8 guys? And you're talking about one of the deepest teams in all of basketball in the Boston Celtics. I mean, looking at some of the series prices here, they're kind of lopsided. So the Celtics are a 9-1 favorite, -900 versus the Knicks at +610. So if you believe in the Knicks, go get your bets in now. The Cavs kind of going around the whole thing. The Pacers up 1-0 after yesterday. Kind of big shocker. The Cavs came all the way back. Pacers playing really good basketball and kind of looked like at the end of the third quarter they were going to take over. And shout out to Miles Turner. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. 20, 10, and 5 blocks. I mean, that Pacers team has not gotten enough respect this entire offseason.
I actually have a quote from Sammy Long about 5 minutes before we got on the air today. He said, Fletch, look, man, low key, he said that word, low key, we have not put enough respect on Indiana. They're low key nice heading into this series.
Did I say low key?
You said low key twice.
Low key is a good word. I mean, it keeps it understated.
We did not put enough respect on the Pacers' name heading into this series.
High key, we need to put more respect on them.
High key, we do.
All right, and then tonight also the Thunder and the Nuggets. Thunder are -820 to win the series. Nuggets are +570, which is pretty surprising considering they won a title a few years ago. In Minnesota, this is the closest line of all of them. -178 versus the Warriors, +150. It's the first time they've been an underdog in a series since 2017, I believe.
There's a lot to get into here. So like you take the Warriors and Minnesota series, for example, that has the closest spread. It feels like a series that could go 7 games. It's like Steph is going to have his night where he goes off, gets the Warriors to a win on his own. You feel the same about Anthony Edwards and some of the players that the Timberwolves have. But that series is not nearly the most interesting to me. Because I look down at the OKC Denver series and I'm like, we all during the regular season this year in the NBA did not give OKC anything because we said, well, when are they going to do it in the postseason? This is a team, a bunch of new guys. And then we saw them in their first series and how they play basketball, in my opinion, is very college basketball like. Yes, they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's just total cheat code, but the way OKC plays is very team-oriented basketball. They really pressure you defensively. They are up in your grill the entire time. And so does Jokic and Murray. Yeah, they could handle the Clippers. Can they do anything against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Even though more star power is probably with the Nuggets heading into this one, with Jokic, with Murray, with Westbrook. Say what you will about him. That dude is the reason they are here and not in Cancun right now. So can the Nuggets do anything for OKC, who I believe is the deepest team left in the NBA playoffs, the best defensive team left in the NBA playoffs, and the best team? And I mean team not in the sense of individual players. I mean team and as they play as a team. And these guys love each other. They really do. If you watch any of their post-game pressers, OKC is going to be tough for anybody. I don't think the Nuggets get one.
See, I think OKC wins the series. I think it's 6. I think the only problem Oklahoma City may have, they're the more talented team. To your point, they're the best defensive team left. I think you might have an argument there. Maybe Boston's the deepest team, but there's an argument there. The problem Oklahoma City that we haven't seen in Memphis, to Memphis's credit, games 3 and 4, had John Moran not gotten hurt, they were playing better ball down the stretch. It was a really tight game. They just didn't have their closer in John Moran. If the games are tight, Oklahoma City knows how to win blowouts. They can get out and run. This is a team that's young. They're going to get up and down. I don't really worry about them in Mile High, where a lot of teams simply run out of gas because the elevation. Denver, though, to give them credit, even though they've tortured my Lakers, what they've done every year, at the end of games, it's Murray and Jokic. They know who they're going to. If the supporting cast can get them to the fourth quarter, where it's a 2-point game with 5 minutes to go, and Aaron Gordon's getting involved, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook is continuing how he's been playing. They know how to do it. Oklahoma City is Shai. It's all on Shai to do it. Now, do we trust Jamal Murray's a better number 2 than Jalen Williams? Again, I think the Thunder win the series, but I could see an early shock if one of these games are close at the beginning that Murray and Jokic pull this thing out early on and make this a real series.
Maybe if Denver can flip home court back into their favor, that could happen. But I got to be honest, I think OKC kind of rolls through this one. And then that Knicks series that you were talking about, Sammy, Knicks and Celtics. Jalen Brunson feels like the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of this series, where it is Jalen Brunson and a whole bunch of guys and Tom Thibodeau with his hemorrhoids problem, like the text line pointed out, against Boston, who is a really deep team with Jason Tatum at the front. Like, I like Jalen Brunson more than anybody on the Celtics team, but it does feel like the Celtics have all this firepower going against the Knicks that the Knicks probably won't be able to handle.
What's so weird about the Knicks is in terms of starting fives, if you took starting fives around the league, starting five of Brunson, Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson comes off the bench, but depending on the lineup, they'll throw Josh Hart in there. They have a legit starting five.
Let's talk about how much you like Karl-Anthony Towns.
Well, I hate him for long shots. I don't like.
I believe he was the first person to ever get blacklisted from long shots.
Him and Ryan Nemhard at Creighton, two oddly specific players. But
they
have
Gonzaga,
a starting
wasn't
five.
it? Wasn't Creighton.
Yeah, it was Ryan Nemhard
from Gonzaga.
Oh yeah, well, he used to play at Creighton. Okay, he traded. Yeah, that's right, Gonzaga. The Knicks, though, they're in an interesting spot. It's like they have to win. They trade away all these picks for Mikal Bridges. They trade away 4 first-round picks. Mikal Bridges fills out the starting lineup. They have their roster set. There's not really much to do unless you want to blow it up and trade Anunoby, who you traded for. You're not trading Jalen Brunson. Why would you do that? You got Karl-Anthony Towns over from Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, who looks really good in the Lakers series. So it's on the Knicks. The Knicks, again, if they could somehow flip home court advantage, they're not going to win the series. But if they could go back to the Garden, that's a tough place to play, just like Boston is. That they have a real home court advantage in New York. I hope this series isn't over in 4. I hope we get some fun matchups later on.
All right, and then the last one out of the East, we got Cleveland and we got Indiana. Indiana takes game 1, which was a surprise to a lot of people. Now, the national media, myself and not included in the national media, but from what I've been listening to, had this penciled in as it's going to be Celtics and Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to be Cavs and OKC in the NBA Finals. Can Indiana make anything happen?
I think so. I mean, this Indiana team is really complete. They're a really deep team. Mathurin, Tyrese Halliburton, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Donovan Mitchell shot terrible from the field last night. He was 1 of 11 from 3. He had like 30 points, but it was just all kind of deuces. But they have some problems. Evan Mobley might not play in this game too. That is the key for their series. They are the more physical team than the Pacers. If they're not, and Miles Turner gets to stand on the outside and shoot threes, we could be in for an upset where Pacers take this one.
All right, coming up next, we're going to have an update in terms of weather out in New York. Padres dealt with a couple of rain delays on this road trip already. Is there another one coming tonight? We will tell you what's up. But first, Gary Cooper's my buddy. I've known him for 5 years. I used to record commercials for him, and now I'm doing commercials for him. He is a stand-up dude, about as stand-up as they get in an industry that there's just not a whole lot of them. So Gary Cooper, what he does, what he intends, is to make sure you are not spending $1 more than you need to when it comes to buying a home, selling a home, or refinancing a loan. It's Gary Cooper at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Advertisements hit us all the time where you can buy down a rate to get a better interest rate. You can save this much money on your mortgage if you go with this company, but they don't show you the fine print up close and personal. Gary Cooper talks you through every single part about your mortgage, about the shell games, the smoke and mirrors that these big mortgage companies will play. Call Gary today, 858-376-1299. Gary's going to tell you why the big companies don't want you to know. Gary's going to explain why the companies are going to end up costing you more money than you need to spend. Call Gary Cooper today. Visit him at mountaintrustmortgage.com and start to understand, or as he would say, his degree in loanology that he will just gift to you before you make any decisions about your house, whether it's a refinance, whether it's a purchase, whether it is a sale. The biggest investment you have in your life deserves some top-notch treatment. Gary Cooper will give that to you. Call him today, 858-376-1299, or see them online, mountaintrustmortgage.com. Go give my friend Gary Cooper a call. Tell him Fletch sent you.
The excitement and the passion of our home team, San Diego FC. Listen Saturday when they face St. Louis SC. Weekend underway at 5 on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760, the iHeartRadio app, and 101.5 HD2.
If you need to sell your home fast, as is, and want a real cash offer you can count on, call Sunday. Hi, I'm Josh, and I started Sunday to help homeowners get the best price when selling their home without the pressure or last-minute surprises. With thousands of satisfied customers, Sunday is the trusted alternative to the time-consuming and frustrating process of selling with a real estate agent. And too often, I've seen so-called cash buyers make high offers, then change the deal at the last minute. That's just not right. At Sunday, we believe in honesty and transparency. That's why we buy homes as is with no repairs, no cleaning, no open houses, and certainly no games. And if you already have an offer, call us. We'll review it with you and explain exactly what you're getting into. So if you're thinking about selling, sell the Sunday way. Call us today at 858-567-0006. That's 858-567-0006, or visit sunday.com. That's SUNDAE.com.
Hey there. I'm Phil Briggs, Navy veteran and host of CBS Eye on Veterans weekly radio show and podcast. And I often think of my old boss in the Navy, Commander Reed, especially when I'm trying to motivate my kids. Now I know how he must have felt trying to motivate me. This Military Appreciation Month, Navy Federal Credit Union wants to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
San Diego sports now.
This sport is sponsored by Robert Half. Padres back into action tonight in New York, taking on the Yankees. Carlos Rodon will be on the mound for the Yankees, while Nick Pivetta will be going for the Padres. Per Kevin Acee, Jackson Merrill will be making his return tomorrow. The Yankees are minus 155 on the money line. And the mega showdown between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is set for September 12th at Allegiant Stadium, the first fight to pack that stadium. It will be for all the titles at the 168-pound division. Crawford will be moving up to weight classes. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiter's expertise in award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Couple things here. We got conflicting reports. Who do we trust? I don't know. Our best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acee, is on the case, but there's also a Twitter account devoted to tracking whether or not Yankees games will be rained out that is saying something different. So Kevin Acee puts out the Padres lineup for today with a big asterisk at the bottom that says if this game is played. And it has Tatis, Arise, Machado, Bogarts, Campusano, Gonzalez, Diaz, Wade, and Lockridge playing with Pivetta on the mound. Again, saying if this game is played because of rain. There's a name missing on that list, and that name is Jackson Merrill, who does not appear to be in the lineup today. Kevin Acee is saying that he's been traveling today, believed to have arrived in New York a short while ago. The plan is for him to play tomorrow. Brandon Lockridge starting in center field tonight, again, if this game is played. So there is rain in New York. However, there is a Twitter account that, thank you to our buddy Jamar, who sent this to me. The account is called @NewYorkYankeesRainDelay. And as of an hour ago, they said 2:45 Yankees weather update. That's East Coast time. Heavy rain clearing in New York City before 7:05 first pitch. Expect playable weather until 10 or 11 p.m. Yanks versus Padres should go on. Postponement unlikely.
Good. I want to watch this game tonight.
So do I, but I want to watch it if Jackson Merrill's in the lineup, and it doesn't sound like he's going to be.
So you're saying, it could be a little blessing in disguise if the game gets moved and Merrill's playing tomorrow.
Bingo, bango. That's exactly what I'm saying, actually. I would love for this game to be delayed so that Jackson Merrill is available for a doubleheader if that's down the line happening.
Okay. I see how you're thinking.
The more Padres games without Jackson Merrill, the worse things are for the Padres. So if he's fully cleared to play and he's coming back to the team, then hell yes, I want this game delayed so Jackson Merrill can be a part of the lineup tomorrow.
Do you think the New York's trying to delay the game so they don't run up against the Knicks?
That could be an option. I also think the New York wants this game to be played so they don't have to face Jackson Merrill and him hitting balls out to the short porch. That's what I really think.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this series. I mean, this is, again, we kind of go back to Padres facing two really good starting caliber left-handed pitchers in this series. And that's been a little bit of an underlying narrative. The Padres have struggled against left-handed pitching. But we're looking at the short porch. I mean, Aaron Judge has made an entire career, and not to diminish Aaron Judge because he's a fantastic player. He would be great wherever he was. But that short porch has been home to a gazillion home runs for him. I mean, Bogarts, Machado, we know Tatis is going to show up. This is a big series. I think we're going to see a lot of big bats in the series, and this is the series to do it. I know the left-handed pitching has struggled a little bit with the Padres facing them, but this is the kind of ballpark where you can kind of break out of that. And it's again, we keep going back to it. It's fun when they're on MLB Network tonight. They're on TBS tomorrow. It's fun when the Padres are playing primetime, and the whole world really gets to see how this team is legit. And they have the lowest team ERA in all of baseball at 2.78 right now. bullpen's been money. So, but yeah, if it gets delayed, Jackson Merrill gets to play. That's not bad news for the Pods.
We'll see about the rain. There's differing reports on whether or not this game will be played. Before we get back to the Padres, two things here. If you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, we're at San Diego Sports 760. Subscribe there. That thing is live from 12 to 6 every single day. Me and Sammy, and then John and Jim. And then on X, at Fletch and Sammy, you can find us there. Give us a follow. We will follow you right back. That's where Jamar found us. Sent me that note about the New York Yankees weather delay.
Jamar's a man. His Twitter account's fantastic. He always got good stuff coming up there.
Very funny that the New York Yankees have an account designated to just following whether or not games will be postponed. I like that.
Yeah, well, I guess in San Diego, you don't really have to do that.
No, because here it's perfect. We get like
it's
one game right now a year.
71 degrees.
Okay, if we're going to talk about the weather, it has kind of sucked the last few days. I didn't want to be the one to bring it up because every time I complain about any sort of weather here, my brother who lives in Clovis, which it's like the worst weather in the world, slaps me in the face. But the weather the last couple of days is kind of blown. All right, not to bring him up for a second time in the same day, but Travis Dale, it was his birthday yesterday. He had a meeting today, a business meeting out at Valley View Casino up in North County. Love Valley View Casino. Awesome place. But Travis Dale, I gave him a $10 on his way out the door and said, throw this in Huff and Puff, dollar spins, see me with your profits tomorrow. Thinking he'd get a bonus. He accidentally did one $10 spin instead of 10 $1 spins.
He went bigger and went home.
He went big accidentally. He says, oops, I hit it once and then it's over. No, he didn't win. Of course not. It was one spin.
Travis. I
thought that we were going to be splitting like $500 today, but no, I guess not because he blew it all in one spin.
How about Valley View endorses the show?
How about it? I wouldn't say no.
I would love.
It's a cool spot, man. You ever been up there?
Oh yeah,
it's up in Valley Center.
Oh yeah,
great golf course right across the way. What's the name of that place? Native Oaks.
Yep.
I know their general manager. That place is awesome, man.
Who's up for the Padres? Just going back to them. Who's under the most pressure in this series in terms of the pitching staff? Pivetta tonight, assuming the game gets played. King tomorrow and Cease on Wednesday.
Cease. Not even close.
It is getting a little with Cease. Like there's a lot
Maybe you were right at the beginning of the year when you said Dylan Cease sucks.
I never said he
You
sucks.
did say that.
I never said he sucks.
I think we have that quoted somewhere. But to your point earlier about this game being on national TV, I love the fact that Nick Pivetta is on the mound for that. If this game does get played today, because Nick Pivetta plays a brand of baseball that is just fun to watch, man. He gets up there, he fires it right away. He doesn't wait for the pitch clock to get down to final 10 seconds or whatever. He just goes and goes and goes, and he works fast, and he's in the strike zone. Keeps the defense super involved. He's not the biggest strikeout guy, but he's a huge ground ball guy. I love the way Nick Pivetta pitches. So the more of that the world gets to see ahead of the postseason, the better.
Nick Pivetta has been phenomenal, and thank God AJ Preller got him for the price he did, because the Padres would not be where they would be without Nick Pivetta right now. I mean, Dylan Cease, we keep talking about. There's a lot. There seems to be he's evaded a lot of criticism, even though people have criticized Dylan Cease, but because we know what he can do. This goes for all sports. When you have stars and they're slumping a little bit, you know what they can be, so you're not as tough on them. But Dylan Cease right now has the ERA of 5.61, and pitching records is what pitching records is. He's 1-2. He's at over 33 innings pitched. I mean, 39 strikeouts, also giving up 39 hits. So, I mean, at what point do we start talking about Dylan Cease? Is there a problem here? Because it's still early.
Pretty soon.
It's extremely early. This is the kind of performance playing against a Yankee team with really good hitters. I know stands out that you could put on a show for, but I mean,
take it one step further. At what point do you start wanting Dylan Cease to put together a few good starts in a row so his value comes up a little bit at the trade deadline?
That's another point. That's another point where Cease gets. I mean, because if we're going off the production that we've seen this year, and again, it's been a month into the season, so we're not sitting here. Let's change the entire rotation. Nick Pivetta would be the ace. Nick Pivetta, and then it would be Michael King, and then you'd have Cease probably in the 3 spot. Vasquez was playing better.
Maybe Darvish comes back and he's that 3 spot.
Well, Darvish is certainly going to be at the top rotation.
Lots of questions for the Padres right now. One of the bigger ones I have with Dylan Cease is the hope is that it's what happened to Manny Machado last week, where we all got to the point where it's like, what the hell's Manny doing? He's not hitting anymore. Like, he started the season on fire. He had the 2 doubles in the first game, and then he was like up around 350 for the first couple of weeks, and then Manny Machado fell off a cliff. But we all know with Manny Machado, that's the type of batter he is, where he'll go a month where he looks like the best hitter in baseball. Then he'll go a month where he doesn't hit anything. And then he'll go another month. That's what he is. He's very streaky, where he gets hot and he'll stay hot for 60 days at a time sometimes and then really, really cool off. Is that the same thing with Dylan Cease?
And that's what's given Cease a big pass. But let's keep in mind, the end of last season was not kind of Dylan Cease. And I'm going to take out the game 4 start where he gets thrown out there on short rest and he gets obliterated by Mookie Betts. I'm not going to count that because that was probably a rough managing decision from Schilt. He was trying to go win it at home. I respect it, but he wasn't ready. Game before, his first start, game 1, was not great. The week before when he had played the Dodgers was not great. He wasn't excellent the last couple weeks of the season. It was really Michael King who was carrying it for the Padres during that stretch. And then Yu Darvish was fantastic in games 2 and 5 where he kept him in it. I know he gave the 2 home runs to Kike Hernandez and Teoscar Hernandez, but he was not the reason the Padres lost that game 5 and they won game 2 with them. Dylan Cease, hopefully there's not a problem here. Hopefully we're just overreacting a little bit, but it's starting to get to a point where you're starting to get concerned. And AJ Preller already needed some pitching help at the deadline. I mean, if Dylan Cease doesn't return to form, you're going to really need some pitching help.
Yeah, the hope is Dylan Cease goes out there, throws a no-hitter, shuts me and Sammy up, but we just haven't seen that so far.
That would be fantastic.
And remember, Sammy Long was the one who said Dylan Cease sucks at the beginning of the year. 484, great text. We really appreciate you texting the show, but 484, if your wife is present, have her take your phone and throw it in a lake and stomp on it because we can't read any of those.
484, that is... All 3 of those are hilarious.
They are horrifying.
Unfortunately, our program director is listening, so that would mean that you would not hear Fletch and I tomorrow.
Horrifying text messages. And I can't even imagine any of that happening to a human being. 703 says, shout out Clovis. I grew up going to Clovis Lakes Water Park. I've been there too. I wonder if you've also been to the Manteca water slides. That's what you do in the Central Valley when it's 105 degrees outside. Growing up there, you just go to the water slides. Fresno had 2 of them. They had the Fresno water slides, the Island, and then the Clovis Lakes Park. This is good stuff. Brother still lives there. I got out and moved to San Diego where the weather is perfect all year round, and I have nothing to complain about. All right, we got one more coming up for you. San Diego Sports 760. Before we hand it off to John and Jim, if you want to text us, get any last thoughts on Thunderbolts, the movie. I have not seen the new episode of Last of Us yet. Or anything with the Padres coming up here. 70470. Start your message with team. We'll close this thing out with you coming up next. San Diego Sports 760.
San Diego Sports Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Jim Buttrell Real Estate Team.
A SIG alert west of Ramona, Highway 78 at Indian Oaks Road, a rollover crash blocking both lanes. East 8 at the 805, watch for a slab of plywood in the middle lane. I'm Mark Zegan, San Diego Traffic.
Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Buttrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. Visit goodfeet.com.
Download the Prize Picks app today. Hey, it's Fletch. And if you use promo code Fletch, you're going to get a $50 bonus when you download the free Prize Picks app. And the promotions, I always say, are my favorite part about this app. Well, today they have outdone themselves. In honor of Cinco de Mayo, there are 5 different Cinco boosts worth 10% each. Esports, soccer, hockey, basketball, and baseball. If you make a lineup including any of those sports in it, you can opt in to different payout boosts where it would take your say your payout was $100, it would take it to 110. Prize Picks always has promotions running. I love Taco Tuesday, I love Flex Friday. Anything that can help you win a little bit of extra cash on Prize Picks, it's usually available to you. Download the app today, use promo code Fletch, and if you make a $5 entry today, you could earn yourself $50 in bonus bucks. This entry would work for that $5 entry. Russell Westbrook, less than 11 points tonight. Peyton Pritchard for the Celtics, more than 8.5 points tonight. OG Anunoby, more than 16 points tonight in his game against the Celtics. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch. Get that $50 bonus. When you play your first $5 entry, you can run your game all season long on Prize Picks alongside tens of millions of active members with the billions of dollars that they've awarded in winnings so far. I myself am responsible for over $4,000 of those winnings. Download the app today. You could jump in on the winnings too. Prize Picks. Run your game.
We're speaking with Dr. Maximilian Chambers, spokesman and champion provider for the CalFresh Healthy Living campaign.
It's time to make a change, everyone. Small, consistent changes that add up over time. Start by replacing one sugary drink a day with water or herbal tea. Add fruit slices or cucumber to water for extra flavor. And over time, these swaps will become healthier habits.
For more information, be sure to visit the UncoverHealthyHabits.com website. Once again, that's uncoverhealthyhabits.com.
Hey guys, it's John and Jim again for the all-new Hamul Casino and Resort the Players Place.
Join Hamul Casino for Sunset Trivia every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and compete for prizes at your favorite casino. Plus, enjoy 50% off classic sushi, nigiri, hand rolls, and any of their featured ramen bowls every Tuesday through Thursday. Now through May 23rd, exclusions do apply.
They also have endless dining, Jim, 5 nights a week, including at Tony Gwynn's, where they've gone over the top. It's the all-new Hamul Casino and Resort, the Players Place.
News trending now on AM 600 Kogo.
From the Kogo News Center, I'm Veronica Carter. Several people dead after a ponga boat washes ashore at Torrey Pines State Beach this morning. San Diego's latest budget would close off access to a couple of local lakes, and President Trump wants to pay illegal immigrants to go home.
These stories and more on San Diego's News Radio 600 Kogo and Kogo.com. Brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union.
Vote SDCCU Best Credit Union in the Union Tribune Readers Poll for the 26th year in a row at sdccu.com/vote. SDCCU takes care of their customers and the community. Vote SDCCU Best today. SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It's better.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada.
The Indiana Fever cruised to a 108-44 win over the Brazilian national team in preseason WNBA action on Sunday. The game at Carver Hawkeye Arena on the Iowa campus, where fans were lined up down the street to see Caitlin Clark back on her college court. She was in midseason form already, draining 4 of 6 threes for 16 points in 19 minutes. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
The 2025 all-new Nissan Armada can tackle almost any just-in-case moment you encounter. So go drive it today. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
He's Dan Patrick.
The 49ers extended George Kittle. Now they can say to Brock, we gave George, a lot of this money. Like, we don't have that much left over. Would you play for $47 million a year?
Weekdays at 6 a.m.
And I still go back to what I said about Brock Purdy. If he was drafted where Mac Jones was, I don't think anybody would have a problem with paying him $50 million.
San Diego Sports. 760. America's finest sports station.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Golden State Warriors are moving on, and they deserve it. Championship DNA, big game experience, and a certain number 30 who still bends the game to his will when it matters most. They earned it. But as the Rockets head into the offseason, you can't help but feel this isn't the end of something. It's actually the beginning. Now, Houston may have gotten in a year early. That's what happens with young teams. The postseason has a way of exposing inexperience. But this group, they've got something special going on. Real star potential. They got flexibility. They've got depth, athleticism. Houston has the cap structure and contract pieces to make a big run at a big name. Add the appeal of warm weather, no tax, free agent-friendly city. The Rockets aren't just on the rise. They could be here for a little while. As the Warriors advance, Houston has just arrived. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. You ever go car shopping and just walk back to your old car and say, you know what? You're not so bad. Maybe a new paint job, maybe fix up those dents and dings. New car prices are going crazy now. Interest rates, prices, everything is up. Maaco can make your current ride look like new. Paint touch-ups, dent repairs, fresh bumper. It's a little like a car makeover is what it is. And right now, they got the spring specials going. Perfect time to get in. You get that free estimate. Quick turnaround, by the way. Real value. That's what Maaco does. And we're keeping our cars longer. So make your current ride feel new again. Before you shell out for something new, make your old look new. Go to Maaco.com today. You'll find a shop near you and book an appointment. You're going to get a free estimate. You're going to love the community-based feel you get with Maaco. That's Maaco, MAACO.com. And remember, better get Maaco.
San Diego Sports 760 for a final time here. Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. Couple headlines before we get out of here for the day. Death, taxes, and Max Scherzer hitting the 60-day IL. The Blue Jays pitcher's thumb is a problem. He's going to have to sit down for a while. That sucks for Max Scherzer. Look, that name has a little bit of a sullied reputation here in town now because of one tweet that got put out by Ken Rosenthal saying the Padres and Scherzer are close on a deal that did not end up happening. He went to the Dodgers. The rest is history. But Max Scherzer going to the IL seems like a foregone conclusion at every single point of any Major League Baseball season at this point. And that sucks because he is one of the guys who's really, really fun to watch in Major League Baseball. Another headline, Brett Boone, brother of Aaron Boone, who's going to be coaching against the Padres tonight. Brett Boone, who has a history with the San Diego Padres, has been hired by the Rangers to be their next hitting coach. So good for Brett. And Final Destination, the new movie coming out in the series, it's called Bloodlines, and it
looks scary as hell.
Have you seen the Final Destination movies?
No.
You should watch them. They're actually fun. They're not scary. They're just fun. And if you buy into the fact that you're watching ridiculousness, it's fine.
The trailers, is that the one where they slip on the glass and
probably?
Yeah, it's a little like, I'm kind of surprised that trailer got through for like NBA games and stuff.
So Final Destination Bloodlines has broke a world record, a Guinness World Record for the oldest person ever to be set on fire on camera. 71-year-old stunt performer came out of retirement to do the scene. Out of those movies, they just try to one-up themselves every time that happens, and they keep a running thread going through all the movies. And I think this one is the all the different stories from the first 5 or 6 all put together into one, and they meet at the top of the Mount Everest of blood and guts and gore, and it should be awesome. Can't believe you've never watched those movies. Those are like coming of age films for me.
I'm a like horror movies. I'm more of a like slasher guy.
That's what this is. It's not really horror.
Because I don't like the like possessed kids and stuff. Like sometimes you're just like, okay, this is like freaky. Like if it's gross, not in terms of like violence, but if it's gross, like I don't want to get into it. But
I'm out on bad, gross horror movies who aren't aware that they're bad, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Horror movies that are trying to make a really good movie, that is a good movie. The Conjuring movies, I think, are fantastic, but they're making good movies. They're not just trying to jump scare you, but it's actually a running storyline with a good plot that thickens as it goes.
Did you ever see The Black Phone?
Kevin Bacon?
No, Ethan Hawke.
No, I haven't.
Dude, that movie was freaky.
I think they're making another one. No, I didn't see that one. But the Final Destination movies are goofy. They're campy. They're fun. Like that was what we would watch at sleepovers when I was in like 8th grade was Final Destination movies. Because it's like, oh my God, there's boobies in this movie and everyone's dying. It's crazy. It's like American Pie horror film. That's what it is.
American Pie. American Pie, one of the few movie franchises. The second one is actually, you can make an argument funnier than the first.
All right, 484, you continue to send things that we absolutely cannot read.
I love 484.
He has identified himself. Handyman Matt, what up? I appreciate it, man. You make me giggle. But again, none of this stuff actually can possibly go over the air.
We've been getting a lot of texts in recently, and I have to, because I almost read one on the air last week that I didn't read before I read it. So Handyman Matt's constantly trying to get me to trip up and just read it.
You might get Sammy one of these days, and I'd probably let it go. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah,
you're not going to get me Handyman Matt. Yeah. Been around the block a couple times.
You cussed last week.
I did on accident. That was the first time in my career. But 484 acknowledging most unreadable text by Handyman Matt. Earlier in the show, day to day, we did do a long shots lineup. Sammy Long gave us 3 picks for tonight's games in the NBA. And those picks were Russell Westbrook, less than 11 points. Peyton Pritchard for the Celtics, more than 8.5 points. And OG Anunoby, more than 16 points. You want picks on tonight's game, Sammy?
Yeah, I think. I don't know that the Knicks are going to win, but the spread right now is 9.5. I would take the Knicks plus 9.5. I think this is a close game tonight. Knicks playing with a lot of confidence, been sitting ever since that. And now they could have been playing with their food a little bit, but the Magic exposed a few things. The Celtics are not invincible in this game. They should win the series. They should win the series handily. I think this one's close tonight, and they lose a close one. I'm going to say it's probably in the 90s, maybe 97, 93 Celtics. So I'm gonna go cover the spread there, and then Nuggets Thunder. I don't know if I can lay 10.5 for the team in NBA playoffs.
I got Thunder. Minus 10.5 is fine.
You got him covering?
Yeah, Shea's gonna go off tonight. He's gonna go off for like 36.
See, I want that to happen because I can't stand the Nuggets, but I don't know that I would feel comfortable laying 10.5.
By the way, Russell Westbrook, we took less than 11 points. I would like it less than 5 points. He's going to shoot so much tonight. He's
gonna
not
have
going to make a
Jalen
single
Green
thing.
type performance.
It's going to be brutal.
Here's if for my gamblers, and again, there's ways to get around the whole legality of betting. So to all my bettors that know this, what I would do, I think the Nuggets come out hot in this game, actually get a lead early in the first quarter, hit that live bet when the number comes down to like Thunder -2.5, -3.5, get that in because the Thunder will end up winning this game.
All right, all 414 of you on the stream today, we sure do appreciate it, man. Thank you for being here. My name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. If you're trying us out for the first time, talk tons of Padres, talk tons of Aztecs when football and basketball season are around. SDFC with a big win over the weekend against FC Dallas, 5-0, sending their asses back to Dallas.
We want to thank everyone on the stream. We've hit a record today. We have 410, I believe, on the stream.
I just said that. 417.
Oh, you just said that?
That was what I said at the beginning.
I wasn't really listening. Sorry.
At Fletch and Sammy on X, at San Diego Sports 760 on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on X. We'll give you a follow right back. The New York Yankees have weighed in on the conversation, by the way. The New York Yankees have said, confirmed, gates are scheduled to open on time, 5:30 p.m. for tonight's game. The Yankees say it's happening. I'm going to say it's happening, which is unfortunate because I wanted it to wait a day for Jackson Merrill.
What's your score for tonight? What do you got?
Padres game?
Mm-hmm.
No Jackson Merrill in the lineup. Luis Campusano is in the lineup. I don't think that's a good thing necessarily for the Padres. If I'm being honest about it, I'm going to say this is a Yankees 4-3 win.
I was going to go 4-3 too. The Padres need to win the series. Just win 2 or 3. It's
Pivetta on the mound.
It's
maybe
3-2. No Merrill today, but the bats are too good. The bats. I just going back to our conversation earlier before we get out of here. I would like to. I don't know what happens tonight, but I want to see Xander Bogaerts play well. I'd like to see Manny Machado get one out of the short porch. Here's my goal for this series. I think 3 combined home runs between Bogaerts and Machado is very reasonable.
I got less than.
You got less than?
I got less than. Unless Manny gets all 3 himself, I got less than.
It's fair. It could happen. I think 3. I think Bogaerts needs to take it back to his Red Sox days and have a big performance because we know Tatis is going to come through. And it can't just be on Tatis. I mean, he got nailed in the forearm. Other guys got to step up. Build on last week. I think Bogaerts does.
We were all hoping to see Fernando Tatis Jackson Merrill back in the lineup today. That is not the case. Lockridge is going to be starting in center. I guess Jackson got into New York earlier today. He should be in the lineup come tomorrow. We'll see if this thing gets played tonight. I certainly hope it does. John and Jim are coming up next. So if you're on YouTube, stay where you are. They will be there right after us. It's San Diego Sports 760. Thank you for being here.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore,